How come I don't see us?
Exactly.
Because there's no video.
Still not there. Pause it though.
How do I pause it? More.
Andy Host. With allegiance.
Hold on, please.
There you go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And that's all running. We're all good.
Is that ready to go?
Yes, I.
Beautiful.
And that's all.
Look at that.
All right, we're back in action. Let's start with the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting held on November 18th, 2024. Take a motion to approve those minutes.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Mayor votes aye. We have monthly reports from Sanitation Department, the Caldwell Sewer District, Planning and Zoning Administration, Fire Department, Rec Center, Director of Events, Superintendent of Public Works, and financial reports. All of those would be available to anyone in the public free of charge. I'm gonna have to skip, I
Yeah, we're
think.
gonna have to skip the architect because I know.
I wanna
we'll see them.
see if he's here. No, he should have texted me. I did tell him 4:30. We could just do the executive session.
Mhm.
Kick
everybody
out.
I know, I know. But that's the order of the,
Okay.
Well, we wanted to be able to do it and let Jim go if we wanted to. That's
Yeah,
why we
so
had
just
it
to keep-
early in the,
so,
Your call.
yeah, I'll take a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. So what this means is, everyone except for, Keith and the chief we'd ask you to step upstairs while we discuss a personnel matter. And then we'll notify you when to come back down. Yeah, there's coffee and water up available upstairs and some candy.
so you will want to pause the meeting. Start.
Exit right.
Did you have anything else on the agenda?
Wondering if that, when I asked about the water lines at the rec center, if that had moved out of committee.
They're good,
yet.
Chief. They can come down.
Yeah, the one at the soccer field?
Oh, yeah,
The one going down
from the pond
from the pond to
They can
the
train.
parking lot.
Oh,
down to the lower ball field so they can train, right?
So that
for
we could
training, yeah, that,
do
as far as I know, that's an operational hydrant.
I think we need to look at it in depth first.
Okay,
Pull enough pressure now for it.
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
fine
I
with it.
was like, Keith's here, so now he
Do it.
knows, and now he's on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so keep
Hey, Howard.
make create the wear. Take care, Jim. Have a nice Christmas. You and the missus and the family.
Where did the architects go?
He's just texted
There
me
was
that he
nothing
got
with the
back
fire
in
department,
town.
right? Nothing else with
And
the fire
he,
department we need to discuss. Did Jim know?
He must have got his
He can go.
meetings
You're good,
confused,
Jim.
so he was gonna
Everything's
join
good.
by Zoom.
Have a nice holiday.
Thanks, Jim. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thank you. So Andy Allison reached out. He just came back into town from traveling, but he had the wrong Monday or the wrong meeting, so I can try to arrange another, oh yeah, we could go back to,
I'm recording.
oh, you are good.
Yeah.
To, if he doesn't join via Zoom, I'll just keep my eye on it. He was gonna just give us the progress so far. But, and it keeps changing. I was telling John, it keeps changing for the better. It's getting better and better each time I see a different iteration of it, but
The
I think
materials,
it's,
the materials we did get in our packet, was that like when the original
that was
conceptual
the
drawings?
start off conceptual drawings.
Has it changed much since that?
They got more finite plans for like the basement, green room, roof structure.
Oh, easy.
Oh, there you go. Let me turn this up because we need some speaker volume.
Oh, I have to unmute him, right?
Yeah,
Ask him to unmute. He's muted. I asked him.
he's unmuted now.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris from AJ. Trying to
Chris.
get.
Hold on, Zach. We're just, want to adjust our volume here.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to get Andy, joined in here. He, is having some technical difficulty. Ooh.
Do you want visual so he can? if he has
I think we have
some-
to allow him to present.
Ask to start video.
Would somebody be able to share the link to the Zoom again? I'm trying to get it to Andy, and for some reason, I'm not able to see it.
Oh, jeez.
I think he's. Why is that so long?
Is that him or is that us?
It's feedback from our mics.
Feedback from our mic.
Dude.
I was just trying to get him to be louder, but
Yeah, he might have to get a
Everything
little, he
goes
might
up.
have to get a little
Yeah.
closer to
He
his
wants someone to
microphone.
send him a link, the Zoom link again.
I sent him
don't
a,
have a
I
link.
sent him a picture of it.
Is that
Oh,
better?
That is better. Yes.
Do you want me?
Okay, I'll move a little closer. Yeah, do we have a digital sign in that we could,
There's,
There you are.
I would say the link is on our website.
one moment, please?
I can invite somebody.
Yeah, could you invite, Andy? We just, for some reason, don't have this link.
Can you give me an email?
Yep. A Allison at ajaarchitecture.com.
ALLISON.
Oh, wait. Am I spelling this Allison right? Or is
Yep.
it A-L-I?
ALLISON.
He doesn't want to spell it like me.
One at a time.
.com, you said?
Yep.
My agent, Allison at AJ Architecture. Yes,
Yes,
sorry.
Is it A Alice?
it's ALLISON.
Oh,
Yeah, two A's next to each other.
Go ahead.
someone make sure I'm doing this right. A
Yeah.
Allison.
Yeah, I think I
AJ
can pull it up in my autofill, so.
I'm gonna. No, maybe I can't invite
Yeah.
people. But now it's not letting me. Maybe I can't.
Can you send him an email? From your phone?
Yeah, but I don't have the Zoom link.
Oh, wait, it's.
Well, just do the default, Gene, yeah. Hmm?
I don't. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, try that.
Okay, so A and. Does that look right? Oh,
Looks right to me.
Send. I don't know what email it's coming from.
I don't know, it's a village board at Gmail or something. It's how we use our calendar.
Yeah, it goes to LG Village. Volleyball.
So start this.
I know, it's a little bit of a slow start.
I think I also have the link that I'll be sending him as well here.
Can't really hear him.
We can't hear you.
I think he has to be closer to his microphone.
Yeah, his microphone's here.
Does that help you all out there? Thank you.
Is that better?
Never, yep.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, is there,
What do you want me to do?
is there a way to allow them to present?
I could probably. I think you can make whoever's talking bigger, right? But I don't-
Should be able to try to share.
Nope.
I believe Andy is in the waiting room right now. Yep.
Okay, I'm in. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
Sorry about getting my dates messed up here.
Or,
Mm,
I don't know if I want to do that.
yeah, I think you're just gonna have to have it how it is.
Okay. We'll do our best.
Yeah.
You guys can all see this screen, right?
Yeah, we can see that one.
I turn this towards the.
Yep, that's perfect. Good job, thanks. Okay, so, do you have anything you could share electronically, Chris?
Yeah.
Or do we want to try to do this another time? Like we could pull a special meeting together. And we had originally discussed face to face with some printables and really kind of make a better presentation than what we're not really set up for here.
Right. Yeah, give me 1 second here.
Who makes that call?
We do, we can,
Yeah,
Up to you guys.
if we wanted to like a special meeting, or we do it on our
Next month-
January 13th.
Next monthly.
Yeah, because there's gonna be a public information session on mid-January, like the 22nd, I think we talked about. So, and I'd like the village board to see it before the general public. So why don't we reconvene and reschedule that for the 13th, because we move our Martin Luther King Day meeting 1 week prior, so we go to the 13th, will be our next.
Be early.
Yeah.
So, I do have some drawings and, images that we could pull up is from our sort of last discussion, if you guys would like to read that today.
You could just tell them we can't.
Yeah, we really can't hear you, Chris.
Okay,
We do have the documents that we could pull up that reflect the design as currently designed. That we were able to share, if that works for you guys.
I think we're kind of limited. We're all looking at a very small screen on the wall that, I don't think the village board is gonna get the best of what you have to offer. So I
Okay.
think if we push it back to our January meeting, we'd be better off.
okay,
Okay.
that works. And I don't know, Ray, if you want, we could put together a little packet, like summary and send out drawings that you could distribute prior to that if you want, or if it'd be better just to present it all.
I think, yeah, we get it ahead of time and then they can get some time to digest it, and then any questions they'll be better equipped to attend a meeting after seeing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be it. And we can pull that together and get that to you this week.
Yep.
Yeah, if you got like a PowerPoint presentation or just like the docs like you showing in our meetings, I'd be fine with that, sharing that with them.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
All right, so January 13th, I'll put a calendar invite out
Yep.
just so I don't miss the dates up again. I had it
yep,
in our
January
calendar.
13th.
13th at 4:30.
Okay, yeah, I had it in for tomorrow night, so I apologize for that.
See you next year.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
thanks. Happy holidays. I'll talk to
Thank
you Wednesday.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Yeah.
See you next year. All right, sorry about that, everyone. He was going to come in person and just got his wires crossed. So executive session was taken care of. Director of Special Events. We received a letter of resignation from the current Director of Special Events, leaving the position vacant. How do we want to proceed?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, right, I know as far as being able to handle something like this right now and with such a short, time of going on. I mean, I'd like to possibly, appoint you as the director, for at least the first interim term of, for a year, and then see how it goes with you, if you don't mind taking
No.
over.
I don't mind. It was kind of the plan all along, but that it's, board is open for discussion.
Well, we had the January 9th meeting planned, right, to kind of go over this.
Well, that's not changing that, that's changing
No,
the
there's-
potential of a advisory board of special events. That's not changing this position.
It's a workshop.
And that's a
There's
workshop
no
with the town.
decisions.
Mhm.
There's no decisions on that meeting.
I think for me, I'm just feeling like it's too much power for one person in the village of Lake George. Like, I feel like there needs to be more checks and balances as far as director of special events, mayor. That's my feeling on it,
Mhm.
so.
And that's a large component of the special events in general. I mean, we've been trying to get a meeting on special events since soon after Allison was elected. So to come up, and I've been in favor of bringing somebody from the outside of, fresh look. Seems like we've been doing this, procedure's been the same for so many years. Where the mayor is, it's too much centralized, control over the events in general. So we had talked about doing a committee structure, where you get more people involved with the thought process and so I would not be in favor of, continuing on with the mayor being, a special events director.
So what changed from the last time we discussed it?
When was the last time?
We've talked about it for 2 years now.
Well, I wasn't in favor of Mayor Blaze doing it. And actually, at that point, he wasn't even mayor. He was an employee. So we'd be going back to the mayor and the events director being the same position. And I agree with Allison that it's really too much, one person doing too much of this particular responsibilities.
As far as what, I'm sorry, it's just, they're the ones making all the contacts and, spearheading, getting them on a list, getting them assigned, getting them looking for people to come in to fill the event spaces. So, I don't, if you put a bi-panel board on that, who's gonna take control of trying to bring people in?
Well, it would give, if you had more people involved, there would be some oversight. And I think a perfect example is what happened with the lights and this skating rink. That all happened. It was done by a small group of people and it was all done without approval from the board.
But
Wait, Joe, let me jump here. The job itself, January 1, Robert Place, sorry. Was no longer be in it, and we're gonna be void of that person holding that job. How much are we paying right now for that position?
35,000.
We don't pay that amount.
No, the county
county.
pays,
County.
We pay 15.
It's gonna be $35,000 for a quasi full-time position. That's to be in constant contact with the office and learning position. Who do we recommend besides our current mayor to take in that position?
Okay, then you bring up a good point. Is the current mayor going to be taking taking the salary to go along with it?
He's been doing that job all along, learning the job as we discussed over a year ago. As far as lights and so go on, I put 20+ hours a week into it. I've been putting in the work. I've been there. So as far as a small group committee, committees are more than just talking, it's physically doing the work. He's also been physically doing the work. And I had to be remiss. I'm gonna point that out. The amount of hours when we first came on as trustees, to what we're doing now, it's a lot. It's more than just committees and going to meetings. It's being out in the cold, working, talking to people nonstop, having arrows and spears thrown at you. You're trying to help people. And quite honestly, where we're at now, we're trying to grow this village, trying to move forward, and to create another committee to do the job, which is the village boards. It seems beyond redundant. The town of Lake George doesn't hold power for that, for choosing it. It's ours, John. And I know that sometimes the vote doesn't always work out. we want it to work, but I'm a bit exasperated because we keep going back to the same thing, same thing. I agree with everything you folks are saying as far as events go. I think we need to change where we're going with it, make it more family centric. Move away from the alcohol, the booze, the party atmosphere, create a generational wealth of events. I think we can do it. And I think that given an opportunity, he hasn't had an opportunity to change it, to move it forward. And I think you're right when you're saying with the former mayor doing it. It seemed to almost be one track where we're gonna go, what the village of Lake George is good at. We're good at throwing a party. We're more than that. We're so much more than that. And the growth of our village depends on the young families coming in and the retirees that also help support us and keeping it safe for them. Right now, the former mayor, Bob, ends on 12/31. We have events lined up and things that are coming in. Businesses depend on these events, and the residents depend on the taxes raised through these businesses to live life here also. And so to kick it, I do agree. I like the idea of the January 9th meeting, the committee, to hear ideas and opinions. The one thing I do get blinders on because we all have our own opinion. That's why I do like the idea of that workshop, because we can hear from the outside end how we can do this better for everyone, the residents and businesses. But I do think that at the end of the day, we're gonna need someone to make a decision and or be a spearhead who could communicate with an office and communicate with the contacts all around. And to say that we're gonna have a workshop to figure this out or so on. Time's not gonna pause for us. These events are to keep moving forward. And we need to keep moving forward. We can't pause Lake George for a year. We're gonna shut down majority of businesses and in lieu, we're gonna have to raise taxes. We're not gonna have the money to bring it in. I say, I know it's not a popular decision, I know. But you know, he's been learning a job for a year, literally learning a job for a year. It's 1 year. And I honestly, I'll be the first one with you. And whoever, that if at the end of 1 year, we're handed the same thing, I'm on the record of saying it, I would agree with you. And I'd say, hey, we have to go in another direction. I honestly will, and I'll go on the record of saying that. I will agree with you on that. Just give this 1 year to see what he's learned and how we can move forward with it, what kind of events we can do. Take what we learned from this workshop next month and apply it. And we could all work together on this and come together. Maybe we could coalesce around this. This will be our gelling moment. Are these events of the future? Because, you know, I am in Allison's camp. I am in your camp when it comes to family events. So my family uses all of them. And like I said, I'm all for the workshop next month. I do think that we need a spearhead leader, at least, because right now we're still in transition. We're in a 50-year transition from mayor in the office and so on to Ray. Our office is learning how to work with our current mayor, and we're learning how to work. I'm learning the job every day. I'll say it right now. It's been 1.5 years and I'm learning every day. Something is new every day. One thing I know is that I can't just pull an e-brake and stop the process while I'm learning. I'm kind of going with the flow here. And I'm just asking that everyone goes with the flow, and I apologize, I'm low under the weather, so I'm low flush right now, so I had to excuse myself. You know, I'm for the year, but like I said, I'm saying it right now on record, that after a year, we look at it and we have an advance, I'm in your camp. You have my support, and you honestly have my support, and I wouldn't be against it.
Well, when we went down this road, when Mayor Blaze retired, he said he could do it for 1 year or 2. It ended up being 2.
1.5 years.
Year and a half, okay. But in that time, we never discussed it, and here we are discussing it the day we get his resignation. So we're putting this off to the point I feel like you've painted me into a corner once again, and oftentimes I would bring that up. I read about a potential event in the paper, not knowing anything about it. Just like the skating rink landed and the lights were put up, and I wasn't involved in that discussion. So it sounds like you just want to continue with the same system, just someone else doing it.
No, and that's the point of me saying I support that workshop next month. Literally less than 1 calendar month, or sorry, 2 months away, 1 month, 2 months, sorry, we're in December. So 1 month, less than 1 month away, we're gonna have a committee. And everything you're saying there, to create that structure so that won't happen again, so that crack won't
And I'm
occur again.
receptive to another methodology.
Yeah.
We just haven't set one up yet, and I think we're in a good path. Having this workshop set up to
Okay.
achieve that.
And he's only the front person. We talked about the committees and what we're looking for. Let the committees decide that. And then this way, the event coordinator has the grounds what he's looking for and what to bring in. Because if I'm an event coming in, I don't want to have to talk to 5 people. I want to talk to one person. And we need that one person to talk to.
I
But if
think,
there's guidelines that he's looking for,
yeah,
that he has to follow, he's looking to follow. And the committee's the way to go towards that. But I still think we need that one person.
I think a committee is not gonna not have one person that someone can talk to, but I think where my confusion comes into play is that when I first became a board member, we separated out these decisions. We said the mayor shouldn't be special events director, and that's why we created the new position. And now it seems that we're reverting back and saying that we
We never
want the
said that.
mayor to be the special
We
events
never,
director.
we never said that. We said
So what are we saying?
it was a year or so for me to learn the municipal structure, and that's why Bob wanted to do the director of special events for a year or two, so I would have time to learn like municipal accounting and everything like that. And I've taken a bunch of classes throughout the year. I've shadowed Bob to do, and it was always part of the design was that I would be the special events director. We started that. You've said it. I have the minutes where you said it.
So, I mean, when
And
we
I'm
had.
not him. Is
When
the
we
other
had
thing.
that, so when we had that meeting, I said, I don't think I feel comfortable as far as having the mayor become the special events director, but I like the idea of you shadowing to figure out an idea of who could become or what structure we could create. So I'm sorry if that sounded like I said something different.
Well, I
So
mean,
my-
it's
my
verbatim. I
underst-
read it the other
So
day.
my understanding though is that you, Joe and Jose feel that the mayor should be the special events director, that Wilbraham, I'm gonna merge those two positions.
Well, it's not just me that
Positions.
feels that. It's our office staff. It's the chamber. It's the county.
Mhm.
Park O and M committee meeting, the tourism director, Heather Bagshaw feels the same way. I mean, you can ask Julie what she thinks about, training someone else that's off the street that doesn't know what's going on. You guys want more visibility to it, I'll give it to you. I'm not worried about any objections you may have to what I'm doing, because I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm already doing the job.
I don't think anyone's.
Just want to be compensated for it.
I don't think anyone's saying that you're doing anything wrong. I think the mayor and the special events director should be separate jobs. I think the mayor should be focusing on running the government. And special events directors focusing on creating special events in our village.
Like the mayor of Glens Falls does both.
Great for him. That's my opinion. That it should be separate. So, but I think,
I think,
Yeah.
I think you've got your hands full being mayor. That's a
Right.
pretty big job with what's going on in the village in general.
I mean,
The DRI and all those other things. I just don't think it's another,
who's gonna do it, John? Is the village board gonna approve these events and approve the uses of the park and approve these? You
Well-
do it now.
I think there's probably somebody that has done this for a living.
That you're gonna pay $20 an hour to?
Uh, Well, here's the problem. We haven't discussed this. And once again,
Right.
like I said, I've been painted into a corner where it's kind of like, oh, we need a direct, events director now because we put it on the back burner for so long.
We didn't get the letter of resignation. He had up to 2 years. So we didn't know when it was coming. It came,
We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming.
we knew it was
Well, if you
coming.
knew it was coming, why can't you pull out a name if it was this important? If we knew that it was coming, why didn't we stop and think, I do a lot of things in my own time. I'm constantly making lists in my brain, on paper, what I need to do. If it was this important and not just for a meeting, why isn't there a name to float out there? Why isn't there more to it? We lose our special events director on the 31st. We have a 9-day lieu to have a workshop to come create a structure. If that doesn't come through from the 31st forward, when someone calls from America, when someone calls to do an event or so on, we're throwing Devaney on the island with no answers. We're gonna be a government that's not gonna turn. What are we gonna do?
The government's not gonna, you're
Well, I'm
talking
sorry,
defense and government.
special event, well, actually, special, because it's part of the government here. So what are we gonna do? What are we gonna tell Devaney when she's getting harassed on the phone or in general, what are we gonna do? Like, again, we knew that this day was gonna come.
Mhm.
What's the name? I had a name available today. What's the name? Who's gonna come in and do this job? Who's gonna come in and create the relationships that took years to create, to understand the mechanisms of, the mechanisms of our village? Who understands the parks? I'm still learning what roads our town, county, and village and so on. We're gonna bring in to do that and learn that quickly, because in a couple of short months, we have one of the largest events of our village happening. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna get there? That's why I was asking for that 1 year. I wasn't doing it to kick it down the line, was to really stop and think about this. Cause that work wasn't done. It wasn't, like you said, Bob had 2 years. He cut his time short. We can't, I agree, can't rush into things. We also can't rush to pull a brake. You know, when the car starts swerving, sometimes that e-brake's the worst thing you can do. You have to ride it out, straighten it out down the path. And that's what I'm asking. Again, I don't want everyone to sit here and argue. We have more important business and things to do. That being said, this is extremely important. So I don't know where we go for it, because I don't want to stimulate on us either. I don't want to hold anything up. But we have to come to some decisions, and again, the workshop, I support it 100% from get-go. I think that we need better parameters. We need role structure, and that's what that's for, the structure of it. But
So you three are then in for making the mayor the event planner. So then are we keeping the compensation structure the same? Is that what you're also proposing?
okay, yeah, if you're doing the work, you get paid for it. Right now, it's I like the capitalistic world that we live in here. You pay for the work, you do the work, you get paid for the work, flat out. You do it, you get paid for it. This is the 1 year, and that term interim position. So we could create a structure. This is the pay scale. This is what's getting paid, and county is paying. I apologize for not understanding the exact amount the county's paying. The county is paying it in the agreement that
15,000
Or 15?
from
We're
the
15.
county, we're 15, the town is 5. But it's all out of occupancy tax.
But what's important is that I keep coming back to the word structure. That's why I was actually excited for this January meeting. Create restrictions, create the standards, so it doesn't happen like status quo as it did before. And I know you're not happy. That's it. I said my piece. So that's what I think. You know, I don't know where we move forward from there, but that's a middle ground, is that this isn't a lifetime position as it was in the past, where it's assumed that every year it's gonna happen. This is a serious 1 year intern position, where to see how we can work together. If the events that Ray pulls out there, or pardon me, Mayor Perry pulls out of there, if he's doing the job, if he's the man for the job. All right, and then within that year, then so on, you can start thinking about, hey, I don't see it's going correctly. I think there's a better road to go. Then we're prepared when that time comes, instead of pulling out a meeting and saying that we should stop. But
I could almost sworn last time we brought this up was when the mayor was leaving office and he was still contemplating being event coordinator. People came up with 3 or 4 names and they all stepped down from deciding after they found out it wasn't worth the job that
They
would
stepped
look
down
at the
because
pay.
they heard that Warren County wanted Bob to do it.
So, I mean,
We had 2 applicants,
That
Yeah.
was the reasoning that I
3,
was told.
counting Bob.
Yeah.
so, I mean, you know, we went through that structure the first time with it and, you know, I don't know if those people was, I didn't see that anyone come to the office and say, hey, you know, next year, Bob, or, you know, I didn't see any interest or anyone. I mean, we all knew this was gonna happen with Bob eventually, but you know, no one did due diligence, like Jose said, to step up and say, hey, let's look for someone. Having, you know, we're talking about doing a committee, but if committee's only designing what we're looking for. And we never said anything about the committee's gonna be the one to spearhead everything out there and bring groups and bring events in. You know, I just figured we were still gonna ride along with what, you know, we had been going along with, you know, Mayor coming in and stepping up and following and finding what to do's and what not to do's.
Yeah, I
You
think
know.
the way the manner that the events are run can definitely be changed, and that's what a good committee would do is, you know, so each event you have a meeting afterward and talk about safety, talk about what could be done better or what could be done differently. I think that's never been done before, and I'm willing to do that.
And then report after each event and, you know, with the committee and the committee's report. You know, to the village board, what they thought of the month's worth of, you know, was the wine festival and, you know, good or bad for the village. You know, and that's what the committees, you know, that I'm in favor of setting up for, but that's a committee and this is a position, so.
I mean, I don't really need to talk about this anymore. I feel like
Mhm.
mayor should be government, a special events director should be special events. That's how I feel, so. I'm set with my vote.
I agree with that, and not only that, but Bob did it for $40,000 a year, both jobs for years. And then it got divided into two jobs, so one job that was $40,000 turned into two jobs that was $75,000. Now the mayor's gone up to $50,000. Now his total the compensation would be $85,000 for something that Bob did for 40. That's tough to sell to the public.
It's not too tough. To tell,
Well, as Allison said, then somebody make a motion and we'll vote on it because my mind's made up, so.
oh, I just
To
want to
move
say
on
for
to
the
the
record,
agenda.
what you're saying is that right now, a job that's a full-time position as mayor, 50+ hours a week, plus the special events, what kicks you up more, which is 7 days a week, stopping in Price Chopper, stewards, phone calls, all the hours of the day. Looking at 70, 80 hours a week for $50,000. There's a same person here that has an issue with that. That's wild. $50,000, no,
It's not the total compensation because there are benefits too, so that's not.
yeah, and the benefit is getting constantly told they're doing it wrong. And to slow down if someone, we didn't hit the ground running here, folks. We literally elected a new mayor after decades. How hard that is to change. Did a lot of work to get here, and I'm ready for a vote. I just wanted to say that.
There's an average of what mayors make. So,
Yeah, City of Albany makes over 90 grand.
it's the city of Albany.
I get it, but
Village
we're
of
better.
Lake
We're,
George.
oh, Village Lake George is great.
Part of the I'm not saying it's not, I'm saying part of compensation comes from taxpayer dollars and how much you make. So when you think of the city of Albany and the amount of people in it and the taxpayers versus the village of Lake George.
The City of Albany loses money every year. It survives on pilots.
Can I just say one thing when
Yeah,
it comes
go
to, when you take into consideration money?
Mhm.
If we have two people, we're paying benefits for two people.
Mhm.
That's retirement, that's the benefits, that's the salary. And that's part of it. The other part is the infrastructure. We don't have a desk or a phone or a computer or a place for somebody to come in and work right now.
Mhm.
So those are considerations that are gonna be additional costs to the village, not to mention the additional costs for those phone lines, for the Windows 3 or the Office 365, the
Yeah,
training that it will take. I'm just looking, like I said, just dollar cents, it's gonna cost us more money.
Mhm.
It will than what we're currently paying out.
well, it depends on if there's someone in the office or remote like Bob was.
There's
right?
no way somebody in this position could be working remote
So why did?
because he
Bob-
was literally 2 feet down the road and we've been in constant contact with him. Somebody,
So you're saying someone else can't do that?
I really don't think so, not to learn the position.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
again,
re-
there's
I mean-
decades of those contacts. It's real decades exist over decades plural.
And it's
Yeah.
been, he's done it for so long that it's like second nature.
So your guys' stance is that no one else can do this job but a mayor.
That's
No,
my,
no.
my personal opinion,
Mhm.
and I know Debonay who works with, you know, in
The events.
tandem with the events director is also in that position. And of that opinion. The other question that I have to you guys to put out there is I'm not quite sure where the hesitancy comes because as a special events director, you're not deciding anything that happens in this village. You're presenting to the village board and it's the village board that decides what happens in this village. So you're not giving this person extra power. They're just giving you the options. That's what they're doing. There's absolutely no vote and nothing that Bob or anybody in that position has ever done is done
That wasn't
without
approved.
your permission, without your approval. That's what these are for every time. So if you don't like it, you don't vote for it, which is perfectly fine. But I'm just saying it's a law. It's literally in our code book that you guys are the ones that decide if an event occurs in this village or not.
Right.
Nobody else.
I said my issue with it is I think the mayor should be more focused on running our village government. So I hear what you're saying, but that's not my issue. Mine is I want the mayor to focus on running the village government. And that to be your only focus, not what special event am I bringing into the village this weekend or next year. Like I want it to be on what can I do to lower taxes? What can I do to make the sewer better? What can I do to make this road better here? Let me start and go out and talk to all the residents. What would they like me to improve versus having the focus on special events part of the time. I feel like there's so much that a mayor can do and fill up the hours of the week. So that's my stance. I want it to be focused. I want the mayor's job to be focused on running the government of the village of Lake George.
Lake George is and always will be a place to go for special events. Our industry, our only industry is hospitality and tourism. Therefore, there is no one better than the mayor to be the director of special events. I know you may not like me as a person. You may not like the way I
Right,
have done things,
I've never
but
said that, and I don't understand
just-
why you're bringing that up.
not just saying that there seems to be some venomous qualities to both you and John about me having that potential position.
I'm gonna state this, I've never said anything about you personally being that right now. I just said that I want it to be a mayor's job to focus on the government. I've never said anything about you.
No, but Lake George is more than just a government. It is an existence of special events and tourism and welcoming our visitors and making it nice for our residents. I have department heads that fix the roads. I have department heads that run the sewer department. They come to me with problems and then I'll bring them to the village board. That's how a mayor works. It's the same as whether it's a special event or a broken water line. It's the same job.
I don't need to talk about it, so.
And I think I still had a motion on the board. In front of the board as far as, making, Mayor Perry the events coordinator.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Nay.
Mayor votes aye. Carries. All right, resolutions. It's number 6. Let's take these one at a time. For Musical Mondays, there's a contract for Rich Ortiz for 3 dates, August 11th, 18th, and 25th. Those are all Mondays from 7 to 9:30. for compensation of $500 per performance for Musical Mondays. Can I get a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Seconded by trustee Root. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Matt Donnelly, contract same. 5 dates on this one, 7/7, 7/14, 7/21, 28th, and August 4th. 6:30 to 8:30, same compensation. Permission for the mayor to sign this contract.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Miller. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The Veridian clock maintenance agreement, we struggled with this last year.
Year
The,
before.
the annual cost is what, $750?
$720.
And if we had any undue issues, they would be about the same. If we had to have one of their people come to fix the clock in the event, let's say we got ran over or just stopped working at all. So that's what we were discussing about the same time last year. Is it any better or any worse? Things is the 720 and just having it available, we know that the maintenance is gonna be correct. And they just redid it just last month. And that's why we're here for the new year for the clock. Everybody loves the clock. Nobody wants to see it not work right.
Right.
I think that's money well spent.
Okay.
So if the clock were to stop working, and you had to call them, we didn't have a contract and we had to call them up. Is there an idea?
There is certain items in their contracts for certain failures of the clock. I can get into a little deeper into that, but there are some, like generic items that they have for repair. So,
Well, based on Keith's recommendation, I would say we go with the contract with clock.
Got a motion?
Yes, it is.
There a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Filomeno. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. So the cancer benefit plan renewal for the fire department. Julie, you could explain this better than I.
Oh, this is every year we have to do this. We offer cancer benefit to our fire department. And this is just the renewal. We've previously approved them at the enhanced plan. And looking at the numbers, I believe it's the same exact as last year. So, and it's no increase over last year's as far as what I could see on it. But it's to carry for all of the fire department members. And it's the same as every year.
Do they choose? They get to choose?
No, we choose for them.
You choose for them.
Yes, we choose for them, and we would, like I said, last year, they requested that we opt for the enhanced plan versus the basic plan. You guys approved the enhanced plan last year. So, question is, do you want to do it again, and do you want to discontinue the benefit? Or, and if you do want to do it, do you want to do basic or enhanced?
Is it increased in any since?
As far as what I could tell, I did not see really any increase over last year's.
No, if that's the case, as long as everything stayed the same, then.
Well, it might, like I said, I couldn't see where it went up. I was trying to look at last year's versus this year's, but I don't think that it was an increase over last year,
Does this come out of their budget or our budget?
their budget.
Their budget. I think, the enhanced plan is fine. I mean, it sounds like this is like sound logic that they put themselves in danger and that they can inhale things that have down the road shown linked to cancer, so we should protect them,
And it hasn't gone up either, so.
right?
So is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Mastro Domenico. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Carries. Approval for the ice rink or skating rink waiver. I know, there's a lot of attorneys out there. I had Matt draw something up, although we're not charging. It's almost like when you go to a beach, you're agreeing to do what the lifeguard tells you. This just puts it on paper. I don't know that we necessarily need it. I talked to the Skate Anytime people, and they said about 50% of places use a waiver and 50% do not. It's understood that you're assuming a risk, by basically putting blades on your feet. But it's, kind of a crapshoot, so you guys want to weigh it. Matt doesn't seem to think we really need it, but he provided it, in case the village board felt that it was necessary.
So in the resolution, it says, village and town owned skating rink. Is the village?
It is co-owned,
Code, okay.
yeah, because it was a joint occupancy tax committee there.
I think we should have a waiver, so I'm for it.
Mhm.
You're for it?
Mhm.
And everybody, I'll just get the round robin here.
Yeah.
I like the waiver.
Okay. Did you guys get a chance to read this? And
Yes.
if so, do you think it's good?
I know. It's all said it's cold in here.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I'm not trying to leave.
Especially after that last discussion.
Is
But
there,
I'm
is there a
but-
motion for that?
I think we're,
Yeah.
yeah, we're in the form of a motion. I just need a second.
Second, Tom's got it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
John, did you have more discussion?
No, briefly, I had I was fortunate enough to sit across from Judy and her
Oh,
ladies that
the
work.
table, yeah.
So I heard them discussing the rink and what's going on with that and their kind of like duties, whatever, but I did watch the meeting, the county meeting when it came up for discussion and there was a bit of a back and forth on ROI and Councilman or Representative Wild.
Mike Wild.
Yeah, he was trying to come up with a process on how they could gauge return on investment on these lights and I think that was about the lights actually.
Yeah, was it the lights?
So these two
saw
young
that
ladies
too.
seem very competent and I think it would be a good idea if we had a quick, since they're in the process of filling out a form anyway, just like a 5 questionnaire, like what state are you from? Did you come here to use the rink? Did you come here to see the lights? Are you staying over? And, just like a 5,
Yeah, that's a great
quick-
idea.
and then you could
Yes.
figure out, that you get a lot of information, a lot of,
Yeah.
as Gina would always say, intel from stuff like that.
Well, yeah, if you don't ask, like we
Right.
started that with the student connection, where are the students from? Do they like their accommodations? Will
Yeah.
they be coming back?
As long as somebody's not giving, well, they're already giving their name and signature on this, but
Mhm.
they're not gonna surrender their email or something like that, and we're not gonna market them.
Right.
I did have another question too regarding this, who's paying their salary? The two ladies?
Town and village are splitting it through occupancy
Okay,
tax.
great. So then the county can say that they would have a right to that information, or they could ask for the information since they're also, they're supplying the occupancy tax. So,
Mhm.
just simple questions. Maybe Gina could come up with the right questions. I have a couple simple ideas, but just something we could gauge the
Put 'em-
fact that it was.
You want to put them on paper and email them to me?
Yeah, I'll come up, I think somewhere between 3 and 5, probably 5,
Five's at the top
Yeah.
end of the
Yeah.
amount of time somebody wants to
just like,
devote to something
what
like
state
that.
did you come from?
You know, what would be great is
Did
if
you
we could
stay
get somebody with an
overnight?
iPad and
Yeah,
just
right.
plug in the answers.
Exactly.
And do it
Then
at
there's no-
Disney and stuff.
Yeah, it's not copying over. As long as the young ladies aren't against doing that.
No, it's basically Cherie that's working
Sherry,
the ice
Ashley,
skating.
or Ashley Tiller.
Ashley, no,
No,
I mean,
Cherie.
she'll help out if she needs to cover for Cherie, and then Jamie is the other one, and her and David. David helped put the rink together. They really kind of adopted this rink as
Yeah.
something they really care about, and
Well-
they take good care of it.
I stopped to say hello to her the other day and introduce her to my wife. And she did say that she came up with a new system on how to mop it and get it to shine. So she was kind of excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm telling you, they really, they care about it.
Yep, she's a good worker.
Yeah, she is.
As far as that waiver, I mean, if that's the case too, if that's able to put on a tablet or something like that where it's,
Like they do it like Sky Zone or whatever.
yeah. I don't know how long that would take to fill up or. like,
Yeah. It's not- Well, rather than pieces of paper flying in the wind or whatever, yeah.
That's true.
And pens and all that stuff.
Let's see, I don't know where we would go to get a waiver created electronically, but I'm sure we could figure it out. Can't be, we're not the first to do it. We're not pioneers. It's gotta be somewhere.
I have a quick question. Who made that motion, the original motion on the last
I
one?
did.
Allison did.
John
And then the second was
John.
John. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, I guess we'll call a vote. I think we're in agreement to use the waiver in some form. Right?
Yes, definitely.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Opposed say nay. Votes aye. Dean Howland is willing to temporarily move up to full-time on the planning board. He stepped down because he wanted to travel on his retirement. While we're waiting for another member to present his or herself, because we had Patricia Katrina Leland had stepped down, so Dean is willing to step back up until we can find another alternate. Or another permanent member. He will be stepping up from alternate member.
I'll make that reappointment,
Yeah, that's,
reappointment
let's have this.
for that.
I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Seconded by trustee Allison. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. I did have another gentleman, I guess we could do it next month, but I did have another gentleman who was willing to serve on the zoning board of appeals. Mike Mentor had approached me and said he'd like to be on a zoning or planning board, and I said I happen to have an opening. I just told Deborah about it today, so I don't have the letter typed up to send to him, but if in the next couple of days, do you want to add that to the agenda right now and vote on it, or can we do that?
I'm sorry, you were asking.
To appoint someone to the ZBA as well that just presented himself.
At the next
That I,
one?
no, at this
Oh,
point,
okay.
Pre-approved.
pre-approved. Well, that I forgot to tell you Julie about, so she would have put it on the agenda, but I just slipped my mind.
Who are you looking to appoint?
Mike Mentor,
MENTOR?
yeah, TER, I think.
PER.
And that's a zoning?
Yeah, alternate to ZBA.
I'll make a motion to approve him for the position. He's willing to accept it.
Okay, and is there a
Second,
second?
second it.
Seconded by trustee Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Adirondack Park Government Local Review Board, Local Government Review Board, sorry. They have a membership there. They represent us in all things APA. We've been doing it for many, many years.
Just to give you guys a heads up, this normally, they've asked for the 300. Last year they asked for 300. We have historically given them 150. They're again asking for 300. Just to give you the history on
And
it.
then,
So we're gonna try to give them
$150.
150? Are we gonna offer them 150?
Well, they'll take whatever we give them, but
149.50.
Right.
Well, I would do 150 then,
Good point.
because I'm assuming that's what you budgeted for, right?
I think it's almost like a museum entrance fee. You pay what you feel like paying. They'll tell you what they'd like you to pay, but you pay, basically what you want.
But I'm assuming that's what we budgeted for, was $150.
that's what we have historically paid.
Yeah,
yes.
likely, yeah. So I'll take a motion
I'll
to
make that
approve
motion.
the 150 bid.
150.
All right, and is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Root. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Oh, we're gonna skip this one because we don't need it after our meeting with the insurance company today. We are once again flush with our capital reserve. So I was going to take some money from the building reserves to pay some bills as they start coming in for the design of the bandstand and improvements to Shepherd Park, but we do not need to. So we can strike that one from the resolutions.
How much should we receive?
100,000. Yeah, 100,000.
What was that?
100,000 from the
Well-
insurance company.
That's it?
No, we got 100, and they just gave us another 100
So
today.
it's 200 and what?
Oh, it's not totaled yet.
Okay.
We're not done with it. They were at 418. But, then we had other expenses for loss of use, like the $45,000 for the stage rental for the summer.
Independent.
So they didn't know about that, so it's not a end all be all total yet. We don't know the total, that we're gonna be receiving yet. It's probably gonna be closer to 500,000,
Mhm.
but they're only giving us to put back what was originally there. And that's not not what we feel we need anyway. We can do better. Bob Blaze, Aflac billings. Let me take it away.
Okay, basically what happened was, there was 2 months in the prior year where, we had 3 paychecks. Because it happened, there happened to be 5 weeks and it ended up being 3 paychecks. Because we only pay him once a month, there was 2 months where we missed, I'm sorry, 3 months where we missed the $11.35. So he's lacking $34.05. And the question was, do you guys want to waive that $34.05, or do you want us to go and tell him he has to pay it to us?
Is this, explain that again? I'm sorry.
Okay, so we take money out every paycheck to pay for somebody's Aflac coverage. Basically, it's an optional thing that they can, but they pay for it.
Okay.
Because he gets paid monthly. It was only pulled out once, which is normally 2 paychecks every month. Well, in the prior year, there was 3 times where there was 3 things where it should have been
Pay
done. And
periods
we failed to find out that it needed that third check. That third $11.35 pulled out. So we didn't take it automatically out of his payroll.
Mm.
So his account is lacking $34.05. So the question is, do we bill him or do we waive it?
It's our mistake.
It's our mistake.
I mean, imagine we don't bill him then if it's our mistake.
And he's not receiving any more paychecks, so we can't take it out of his paycheck.
Right, we would literally have to bill him for
We'd have
this
to send-
$34.05.
Could we leave it up to him?
We can do whatever you guys want.
I like that idea.
Yeah,
Leave it up to him.
Does he know that he,
I don't think he knows now.
I think he'd pay it if he knew
He
it.
probably would.
Yeah.
I don't think he would, leave the country over $34.05, but if that's the
So we-
decision,
So
that's
So
the
the
pleasure.
decision is that we will go
Let
with
him make the
whatever he decides.
Let
Yeah,
him make the
it's our
decision.
fault, so it's a decision.
Okay. So is it-
And
do we need a
let it-
motion for that?
Yep,
All right,
I'll make the motion that we send, the former event coordinator is
a letter.
notification, yeah.
that
An invoice
he's
is a
in
little
arrears
impersonal.
of $33 for his Aflac payment.
Mhm.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Root. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Opposed say nay. Votes aye. So the next ones I can either take individually. This is just approval for us to go out for a request for a proposal for the food vendor, the bounce house, and beer and wine services for Fridays at the lake. Any
Motion to approve.
Motion, yeah, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll second
There a
it.
second?
Thank you for adding that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I saw.
Oh,
it,
yeah,
so I
the-
appreciate it.
Did she get the
Yep, she added everything.
scope of work or the bounce house thing that you wanted?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a motion, there's a second by trustee, did you?
Yep, by Jose.
Jose, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries.
I'd just like to clear up with you guys that I did not understand, on that last RFP, the stormwater reduction project design. I was getting confused between that and the green infrastructure. The one that we just approved at the last meeting. This is separate. The first one that we approved was from it was a grant given to us, $50,000 from the DEC. That's all done. This one here is a new one that we need to, by requirement, in order to get the $70,000, send out for the RFP. So I just wanted to clarify that it was they're both for Shepherd Park in the same area. I was thinking that I was confusing the two. I didn't understand that there was two different grants that we were getting. So I just wanted to clear that up. And just as a clarification too, I also found out that I don't have to do an RFP. The only approval I need from you guys is the approval to spend the money to put the ad in the paper. But on this, we definitely, like I said, we had already sent it out off of what the emails were that you guys sent off. So there's a bid out there. You guys ultimately will determine if we accept or who we accept for this.
So I'll take a motion to approve that RFP for the stormwater reduction project design.
Make that motion?
And I'll take a second.
I'll second it.
Seconded by trustee Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Special events, facilities, use applications, the Lake George Association Stream Education. 2 dates, October 28th and, April 28th and October 17th, 9 to 2. There are 2 classes.
Throughout those days.
Oh, it's throughout those days.
Yeah.
Oh, 2 classes a day. 9 a.m. and 2 p.m.
They give you a bunch of different dates. They don't know what dates, but that's the estimated.
That's the
dates that
window
they have.
from April to October. Okay. Now that makes a little more sense.
But as of right now, that is just the time that.
Do you want to take these individually?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So take a motion to.
I'll make the
approve.
motion to approve.
No, there's a
uh,
motion by
request.
trustee Joe. Is there a second?
And second.
Second by trustee Allison. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay.
Aye.
And there's
There we
0
go.
fees?
No, we don't charge them. We haven't charged them anything. I don't even know if we have a fee schedule for that. Yeah,
Yeah, there's no
I don't-
impact.
they're just teaching kids about water.
Right.
So 2 events for the village, the Winter Carnival and Parade. Nancy Nichols, they have 2 dates for the parade, correct?
Yes, but they're also requesting more. They're requesting more use. So the 2 parades, which is the first of, correct me if I'm wrong, Jose, but I think you know more about, Winter Carnival than I think. No. Okay.
No.
I know sometimes.
I spoke with her, yes.
Yeah, so, February 1st is the first day, March 2nd is the last day. They're gonna have 2 parades, one on the first day, one on the second day.
Mhm.
And then they're going to, I apologize for my calendar. If you guys look at the calendar that I made for you guys, this was how I interpreted the application. I don't know, maybe I misinterpreted it. But if you look at the calendar and what they're requesting is they're requesting you Shepherd Park, the 2 parades, they want lane closure on each road, 1 on each side. So there's 2 lanes on each road. They want 1 on each side. And then they want rec center for soccer fields. Decisions ultimately up to you guys, but the lane closure for ATVs, they already are on the road anyway, and that's just gonna cause more work on DPW because they're the ones that are gonna have to put the barriers up, take them down, put them up, put them down, and it's gonna put a lot of, also we do plow those roads, so we have those barricades, how are we going to do that?
I spoke with the county and the sheriff's department about this in regards to safety. They believe that they should be barricaded to just keep the ATVs off of the sidewalk. 'Cause they have a tendency to
Ride them.
ride them on the sidewalk when we don't want them on the sidewalk. I want them hopefully on the lake. That's where the whole design of this would
Back
be
in
the
the day,
best. Back
yeah.
in the day, we got ice. I'm hoping that this year maybe we will get in. So that it wouldn't be an issue, but I did speak to both the Kevin Hajos and the sheriff's department, and they said, yeah, put barricades up and we'll make signage. No, just for when they're doing the poker runs.
We do have to take, we have to think about
Yep, that's what she
DPW bringing them up and taking them down. So that could be like Friday morning. So those lanes would be closed on Friday. Not like we have much traffic during this time, but we also have to think of that as well.
Yeah, like how that works.
I just think safety is pinnacle with the,
Well, historically, I've been against ATVs.
I know you have, yeah.
But you're right, if you ride on the sidewalk and this makes it better and we're collecting fees. I kind of like given up, I should, I don't think giving
No,
up, but
You're
come to the
still got
fact
some,
that ATVs are gonna be a thing.
you still got valid points about it.
Yeah, I mean, they, and whatever course you set out for them, they just always go where they wanna go.
Yeah.
And the poker run has them going all over the place anyway, so they do go outside.
Yeah, you do have the 5% jerk rule. You
Yeah.
know, most people behave, but
Right.
then there's the 5% that
There's some that
don't.
just like tool around and
Yeah.
it is against traffic and safety law. It is kind of like we are bending the rules or just throwing the rules right out the window just so we can attract people to come here.
I think any winter village or town, Old Forge, they allow them. You know, I think they just know that's,
They have a lot of snowmobiles. I don't know about ATVs.
they're on the
I
road.
think so. I haven't been to Old Forge
Yeah.
much
Are
lately.
ATVs street legal?
No,
Some of them,
No.
no,
no.
Some, if
Side
you
by
own,
side.
the way it was interpreted by our attorneys, or you own the roads, which we do in the village, that's why the bone of contention is about Beach Road, because it's a county road, and in asking them as such, they're like, yeah, go ahead.
We don't own Canada Street,
No, we don't own Canada Street either.
but all the
that's
back
where-
roads.
but that's where we're
Side
doing the
street.
lane closure, right? Is
No,
that
it's on
Canada?
Beach Road.
Beach Road.
Beach Road? Okay, sorry, this.
I don't, we only let them cross Canada. We don't let them ride alongside.
The shutdown from the 16th through the 22nd.
So it would be every weekend. So my orange highlighter died. So every weekend that you see that, I know. That's why I apologize for my calendar. So, every weekend that you see the highlighters on here, that's when the lane closures are gonna occur.
Gotcha.
But, I don't know who is on weekends for DPW. I don't know how soon, maybe Keith would know how soon the barricades have to go up, but,
Well, Don't worry about that in February.
It's just for the parade, right?
no, for lane closure for ATV, that's gonna be throughout.
I thought that was just for the poker runs.
Was it?
Yeah, that was just for poker runs. We're not closing them
That's not-
every weekend, no.
Yeah, like I said, this was an interpretation of the application.
Yeah.
And it was not clear at all.
Yeah, no, we'll have to get that cleared up, but no, I wouldn't have our guys do that. That's,
Yeah.
that's a lot
Just
over and
for-
above. Just for poker run.
Yeah.
And that was the conversation that they asked me to have with the county and the sheriff's department.
Can we vote on, so if we don't have the actual dates to be closed? Do you feel comfortable with that, or? Cause that's a big ask as far as every weekend
Right.
and right now it's a gray area.
Yeah, it's not gonna be every weekend.
Okay.
Do we wanna just,
Wait till January.
well, I think we should. We could wait till January. I mean, I would like to get this approved so
Get
that
it
we could just
verified.
iron it out and make sure that everybody knows what we're
Who's
approving.
going where and.
Do you guys wanna
why
wait
and
till
how.
next month? It's earlier. It's not quite a month away. It's the 16th.
Well, I think that's a smart thing.
Or
If
the
everyone's
13th.
saying that they don't understand when the lane closures are gonna be, if we approve it, you know?
Yeah, I don't wanna approve too many lane closures or not enough, so.
And that would change the fees too.
And it would change the fees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could also ask them to come in. We can ask questions about what.
Yeah.
is happening.
Yeah, that's fine. So let's skip that one. Go to New Year's Day
Table
polar,
that for the next
table that
meeting.
for next. New Year's Day polar plunge, got paperwork in early. On time, actually.
yeah.
Fee approval at $75. They're not using any. Anything, really, it's just a beach. So I'll take a motion to approve the New Year's Day polar plunge.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
seconded by trustee Jose. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. They, I'm
Opposed,
sorry,
say nay.
they doing just one or they doing two dumps?
I
don't know yet.
think there's too many people to do. I think they do it almost,
Or,
yeah, stages of 4 waves, that's it.
depending on the weather.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Wild in the Trees Music and Skateboarding Festival, Frankie Cavone, October 4th time. Or 2025, time to be determined. Frankie's done very good, events. I think he's put these on for many years. So take a motion to approve that.
Can you just explain what it is exactly? Is he using the skate park and wood park?
He's got it right here. Come on up.
Oh, there, oh, nice.
Sure, some stuff here. Thank you for, looking at this. And, basically, the Wild in the Trees Music and Skateboarding Festival it was originally a 2-day music and skateboarding festival that consisted of competitions and music, of course. We would, bring in 5 musical acts a day and donate all ticket sales to the Ronald McDonald House. This year, we would like to donate all the money from ticket sales to the, Lake George American Legion Post 374. They do a lot of great things, and this year is especially special because this is the 10-year anniversary of the park being built. The ground was broken in 2015, and we just feel like it's a great way to honor the work done in the past, but also to just keep the youth involved as well. And we took a year off to kind of look at this in a different approach and see how to make it more successful. And we believe that doing it in 1 day, which is 2, is a better option because while this isn't a traditional music festival, and it does have a specific demographic, attracting people in 1 day would make it more successful. So this would be our 3rd year doing it, and again, it's just our way to give back and hopefully influence the youth to also get involved with things in the town as well.
Do we know, is there something going on in Wood Park at the same exact time?
No,
So it's clear. So I'm wondering, I feel like it would be really congested if we did Wood Park and this at the same time. Can we not have something in Wood Park at the same time he's doing this?
I think it's just Columbus Day weekend.
And it's not Columbus Day, it's the week before.
And the great thing about this is, like we have ran into issues like that, like in 2023, I believe Adirondack Plum Brewery had their Oktoberfest. And because I feel like this is such a different thing from that, it wouldn't take away from another event's success as well.
I don't think it.
No, she just
Wow.
means in Wood Park, because they use,
Wood Park.
typically they
You
use,
have sound and music. I would
Absolutely.
hate for us to book another event that has sound and music and then you guys are competing.
This
So,
year we did.
right, we've had.
we had that with that hurricane where they had the makeup date was the same as jazz, and
So I just want to make sure that if we're giving you those dates,
the park's not available for another event unless it's who can be quiet the longest event.
Can you accept?
well, I think that if we did,
the special event calendar is, it's theirs. I don't double book for Wood Park. If it's with the skate park or Wood Park, I don't book any other event. That is this weekend.
okay,
I-
perfect.
Great.
You guys approve it.
No, I like,
I will take a motion to approve. It sounds like we're ready to do that.
make that motion.
Along with the occupancy taxes, it's a separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a
That's
separate,
separate.
Just with the festival, alcohol or anything like that?
Yes, we have had alcohol in the past. The first year we had Adirondack Plum Brewery provide their liquor license, and the second year we had Solely Feast provide their liquor license to be able to serve.
You plan on doing that this year?
Absolutely,
Okay.
especially because this is, meant for the youth, with the age of skateboarders today, there's people up to 50 years old skateboarding, not all the time, but there's people interested enough, at all ages to make it worth it to have alcohol sales on premises.
Second,
Still need a second.
I'll say,
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say.
Jose, all those in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Approved. Hey, stay right here. Request for occupancy tax for this event that we just approved for $3,500.
How much occupancy tax do we have left?
This would
it
be
wouldn't
for
be in
next
this year.
year.
For next
This
year.
will be
next
the
year.
first one that we're voting on for next year.
Okay, so then Okay, so we're thinking, you normally get how much?
Anywhere around 300,000.
300,000?
Yeah.
And then we're giving 15 to you. So now I'm just trying to like calculate in my head.
Well, we get an additional 30,000 payment that's usually, comes in, this time of year. So I guess it's 330.
Okay, and so then what do we have? I just wanna know how much we are gonna
We, at
have.
this point.
I got a
the-
worksheet I could go over with you.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Cause what do we normally give occupancy tax to, or we're like clean slate? The only thing that we're sending occupancy tax for right now next year is special events director salary.
Right, the way that it works is we would, anything that we want to take out of our occupancy tax would go into the budget
Mhm.
for paying the bands, paying those kinds of things you'll see on the budget form of it.
Mhm.
These kind of applications will all be, and this is the first one that we've had
Mhm.
for this upcoming next year.
Okay.
So,
The, and
so
it's only
it's kind of a
15.
clean slate, but there's always gonna be money in the background that we're gonna need, like I said, for the bands and for those things, I don't know how we're gonna do the fireworks or,
Yeah,
anything like that.
That's a
but-
conversation
But
that
those
we should
again are
have.
all things that you guys will approve at some point.
As far as the fireworks go, as far as the town supervisor and I have discussed, as long as there are joint occupancy tax funds,
Mhm.
the fireworks will be shared from that fund rather than all on us. We did do, and I want to do it differently. We did use about 80,000 for, I'm sorry, Frank, I'm just trying to get this out. We did use about 80,000 for the second chance employees, which I think is, we gotta relook at that, but that came out of occupancy tax, and I'm hoping that we can save that by just going back to regular seasonal employees. It just got very, very expensive.
Well, if we don't have a contract with some entity, we won't get that money back out of the tax.
Right, but that's for this year, I'm working on next year, not for this year. So that's just, where I am. So I will, have some discussion, take a motion to approve, whatever you guys
I do
choose.
have another question for
Yeah,
Frank.
absolutely.
Sorry, Frank, yes, it's a habit, but mystical. So you say that all ticket sales will be going to the American Legion Post. And.
Well,
and then-
proceeds, right? Not sales,
Ticket
right?
sales.
Thank you.
Yeah, all ticket sales. That's your charity. Is that the charity that you're getting? It's not an additional charity.
No, absolutely.
Right.
And then I guess the funds would basically be used for just our main expenses, which is insurance.
Yeah.
It's gonna be used for, the stage, of course, and then just for the live music. That's where we see the biggest budget, and with downsizing to allow all this to happen in one day, we're cutting our budget pretty much in half. And what I do outside of this event, I work in marketing, and so with that budget being said, we wouldn't affect other aspects of what I guess it would take to put on an event.
So the rest is basically advertising,
Yeah, and that's something that,
paying the bands.
yeah, yes.
Nothing for you, Frank. Nothing for you.
This town and, the people like Patricia Dow and, the experience of being able to work towards something is all I could have ever asked for, so.
And Frankie's been
That
one of the
was a good
spearheads
answer,
since we
Frank.
started this, so.
Yeah.
With the
I
kick-
really said, and I'll go on record and be completely honest, I never thought you were gonna get the skate park built. I always thought you'd start driving and then you'd forget about skateboarding like I did and move on with your lives, but you guys stuck it out, and I've always been very proud of that.
Day one at the high school, the little joint meetings we used to have
Yes.
with Patricia and you and your friends, so. This is a nice job.
I'll make
with
a
that.
motion for the 3,500 for Frank.
I'll second it.
Mr. Cool.
So motion on the floor and a second. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Okay.
Mayor votes aye. Opposed say nay. Carried. Thanks,
Thank
Frank.
you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.
Good to see you.
later.
Merry Christmas. Kelly's Angels Summer 11 Fun Fest. July 25th to 28th is requesting $8,000.
That's less than.
It's less than they did, it was 10.
What do
And
we
I
give
know
them?
they did, award just recently another $21,000 scholarships to SUNY Adirondack. Half of which were like, not half, I think a third of which were Lake George kids. I'm
But-
fine, it's a good event, it's a good cause.
Right, but I think if we're thinking of the traditional uses of occupancy tax. I think, are we saying the reason that we're giving them occupancy tax is because they hand out scholarships?
No, because they put heads in beds. This event is a 2-day event where people come for the weekend, or a 3-day event where people come and stay. And spend money on hotel rooms, and
How many years have
Yeah.
they gotten occupancy tax funds?
this would be, I don't know, maybe the third?
Well, it was a different event. It wasn't.
Oh, that's right, it
Kelly's
was-
Angels.
Yeah,
Bob has 2 major events. Back in the day, he used to go to the LGA.
Mhm.
His way-
Save.
Yeah, Save the Lake. Which you bring up a good point. Occupancy tax is another component of the whole special events program. So we've gone back and forth on trying to set some hard guidelines, like after 3 years, you don't get any more money. Well, that never held up.
right.
And this, we had all these different guidelines and
For
it's
the
just,
most part of that, but
Kind of did for
Some
a
of
little
them it
bit,
did.
it did,
For
but
some
it
of them
didn't
it did,
last,
not
you're right,
everything.
it didn't last.
not everything.
no, we had, for instance, the bullpen guys that did the triathlon, we gave them money every year. It gets a little subjective, I guess we call it, but so anyways,
That was the methodology of thinking was back then, and you know, I don't know how many years it was, but we think that the event would be able to stand on its own. Well,
After
Yeah.
3 years.
after 3 years, it turns out none of the events can stand on their own without a
Well,
contribution, because the,
It depends if they
cost
were
layout,
fundraising or if they
Right.
were just making money.
yeah, if they're a fundraising event, then
We
I'm
sort of
more
kinda
inclined to
contributed.
give them occupancy tax because it's going to a good cause.
well, in case of this one, they even put out a press release that said they made $20,000.
Yeah.
So, but they got $10,000 in occupancy tax.
Well, I think that they also spend a lot in advertising and paid bands and,
But at the end of the day, they still had $20,000 left over. 10 of that was occupancy tax. And there's a new project that's in the area, and that's the mountain biking park named after Dennis. So that would, I think, be a nice target for some of these funds that they would want to contribute to that. If they wanted like spread it around instead of the same group of people getting the benefit of this event.
Okay.
I understand how it works because Mark Mulholland, he has a lot of people that shows up to do the work.
yeah, they have a lot of volunteers,
Yeah.
a big group of volunteers.
So that's hard to, you need that to pull off an event.
Can I make a suggestion?
Hmm?
Right, be popular or unpopular? Because this is a perfect example of an event that, though it makes money, it does give money, it does put heads in beds, but it's past the 3 years. We could use this event, and again, don't get kicked for it, but we could use this event during a committee as a event where, use the term, as a subject event for, you're saying creating standards, so when we're looking at it. Kelly's Angel on paper, it's great. Everything they do is great. That being said, we have, because it's a large dollar amount. It's less than a 10,000. We could use this as almost a jump off point, because this is a good inflection point of the benefit, but also the cost. Because they do pull in the profit for it. Unless the board's totally against that. You're right, it's a lot of money, and for Dennis's, there's more things coming down the pipeline that we want to put money towards, and we don't want to, empty our shot too early.
Well, you know, another thing that I've noticed that they do at the county is they don't have to give them what they ask for. You can always give them less. You know, I'm saying we can table
We've
this
done
to,
that.
we've done that in the past. I mean, and the
Mhm.
county is seeing that as more of a common practice where they're like, could you do it with and Gene would definitely just ask them, could you do it without the money? Would this event go on without the money?
Mhm.
And then if they say yes, then maybe you make a compromise and you offer them less. to preserve our, fund balance in order to make it go further. So I think we could table this and then ask the question.
Yeah, I think I would. I guess the way that my brain is wrapping around this is the occupancy tax is a tax given to the hotels. And then the Airbnbs and the.
Well, it's
towns.
collected by
Right,
them.
right, collected by them. So then. Are we saying that, why would we keep giving it to the same things over and over and over again? If they've been set up and successful, shouldn't that fund of money be given to new ideas and new things to promote more heads and beds, right? You know, because if we're always giving it to the same thing, then we're not fostering new, right? Where someone's a startup and they don't have the same amount of funds and the same amount of support that Kelly's Angels does. So in my mind, it feels like it's been 3 years, you have a successful event. We really need to use these funds to promote and foster other events and see what else is coming that we could give this to.
We can be a little more miserly with it, if that's what you're saying, because we don't know what's coming. Well, we don't know what we don't know, you know what I mean? There's could be a great event that we haven't seen yet, and they might throw an application in April, and we don't know what it is.
Well, Kelly's Angels and Ronald McDonald have like 2 choice weekends in July and in August. They have really.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I'm not
what
saying we
sweet
don't
spots
support them. I think we do
Right.
support them, but
Right.
the level of support could vary.
Do you want to come up with a number now, or do you want to talk
I
to?
I say we could talk to Bob and Mark and see what, see what they would consider. Just because we're trying to do things a little differently, we're trying to be a little more cautious with our spending. So I would say we could table that. We got plenty of time.
Make a motion to table it.
There's a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by trustee Philomeno. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Training, basic operations. This looks expensive, but it's like a week in, wherever SUNY Morrisville is.
So.
It's in Morrisville, right? Yeah.
Sorry.
This is the first step to becoming an operator. Plant operator. Did we lose Junior? He must have left.
Yep.
No, I saw him leave on his phone, but
Oh, okay.
Can you remind me, Julie, when we pay for someone to have training like this, what is their commitment to the village after we pay for this training? Just because it's a significant amount of money.
Well, on this, there is nothing, like,
The CDL
the
training.
CDL training, when we were spending money on those, we would require that they remain here for sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years, depends on what the board decided at that time. There's no policy as far as you have to do this.
Like after a certain amount of money, because I guess each person is.
That's $1,100.
1850.
Yep, yes, so yeah, that's the total cost for each person. It would come out of the wastewater treatment budget.
And once they start this project, if you don't mind, once they start the process with, getting the first phase of the training and so on, it's actually a 5-year, internment that you have to complete your license for the sanitation department. So if they get halfway through it and they don't finish, it is what it is.
they start back from square one.
But, yeah, and even with water, it's the same, it's only 3 years for water. But still, you're subject to somebody leaving or dying or whatever. So there's kind of like that level built into this, the way they got it structured.
So they have to take more classes, is what you're saying.
Well, you have to take more classes. This is just like the beginning of this training, of the sanitation training. So there'll be more training events as
Over a
required
5-year
by-
period.
As required by Department of Health.
Right.
So you're building, you're hopefully building up operators is what you're trying to do as a municipality.
Right, I'm just saying, if we spend this amount of money, how do we ensure that we're not gonna just spend this amount of money on an employee that may leave
Well.
in the next year or
I
two?
think
Do we
a
have
couple
a,
of the guy- one of the new guys, I think is relatively new, but he has some other skills with sanitation,
Mhm.
and I haven't met him at the door yet. But it's the only way you're gonna get, keep getting operators as time goes on.
Well, it's a way for them to advance themselves as well.
If they become an operator,
You
they
know,
get a
if you-
higher rate of pay.
I'm
Right,
not
they-
saying they're not doing it, I'm just saying usually when someone gets provided this amount of money, we say we need a 6-month, commitment. We need a 1-year commitment as an employee so that we're not $1,850, that's looking at someone's taxes, one person's taxes. We're taking in, so wouldn't we want a commitment from that employee?
But
Because basically, as it stands right now, we could pay this money and then March 8th, they could leave. Right? I'm not saying they would. What I'm saying is that's the way we have it set up at this current time. Right?
Yeah, do we have anything on, what the CDL, what's it cost to? put 'em-
Nothing at this point. CDL, we've gotten the last 2 people who paid for through Warren County.
Oh,
I got them grants.
Oh, so that's good. I was just thinking about in the same vein, when we pay people to get the CDL. I don't know if it's in writing or if it's just or handbook policy, is it
For the
CDL?
Yeah, we just made up, $200. Or excuse me, 2 years of getting your training, and then if everything went well with your training and you you got your license and you were good for 2 years, without having any issues. If you did leave before that 2 years, you have to pay the money.
Had to pay the money back. I think we'd have to add to the handbook, but we can do that moving forward.
Yeah, I would prefer that. I feel like that should be a standard that we have, like anything over, I don't know, like $1,000? Or should we say more than that or less than that?
Say 1,000, 1,500, something like that.
Because I think if you're spending that much on someone and then we're budgeting for them to be our employee and then they get an offer elsewhere to leave that's higher paying, then we have to start all over again
Mhm.
and do it with a new person.
Yeah, I'd be fine with adding that to the employee handbook, but I think we should get this, because they will get locked out of this if we don't do it. We don't approve this, that those courses fill up.
Yeah.
I think we should do it moving forward, and we'll start working on that for the, January meeting, but,
And DEC is one that regulates this.
Yeah. so, yeah, you get shut out, you're out, and then you gotta wait probably a year before they can do it again, so I would recommend that we approve this one, but still in tandem do the addition to our handbook. So, I'll take a motion for that.
I'll
Well,
make that
actually,
motion.
I'll make that a motion. I'll just take a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. I did have something to add, and I'm thinking maybe Tim Junior was gonna talk about it. Tim had asked, he couldn't be here tonight, but we talked about bibs, overalls for the workers, like the heavy duty Carhartt ones. It's cold outside when they're doing it, and they're approximately $150 each. He would like to see that get an approval tonight, because when you add up all the employees, it's gonna be over $2,000, so we would need to go out to bid for it or get a rec.
Well, not to go out to bid, we would just need to get at least
Three
two or-
quotes.
2 or 3 quotes.
Each department would take care of their employees, so the wastewater treatment plant would take care of the wastewater treatment, the DPW would take care of the DPW. They have money in their equipment budgets. And we're also at the same time looking into see if UniFirst has any any bib overalls, then we could have them as part of our uniforms. And then you don't have to worry about replacing them.
They do.
They do? Okay, I think Tim was looking
Yeah,
into
Tim's
it.
already contacted.
So it may not be this $150 thing. I just wanna, at least get these guys the personal protection equipment that they need. And if it is that, then yeah, we buy them, just like we do with the muck boots and
Like the sure, how do you say your name?
Cherie.
Cherie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just wearing one of the hoodies. That can't be that warm, but so it's cold.
Yeah.
She was telling me how she, there's a propane thing with a little heater on the top, and she's afraid to light it, and she probably shouldn't have that run in a closed space for very long anyway.
Yeah, no,
So anyway, yeah. they
that
should-
was an
yeah,
attempt by,
If
Jimmy
they're out there in the
Domino.
cold, they should be warm. I would, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would, if you need a motion for that, I'm.
sure, I'll take a motion for it in case it ends up being
Yeah.
something we go to bid
Second.
for. Is there a second?
Second it.
Second by trustee Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Can you guys pause for just one moment?
Sure.
My battery is stopping.
nobody speak.
I'm hoping I have battery in here that will work.
If your pen runs out of ink.
They're running out of everything.
I know, I'm
Finger
telling you,
between your
think that the
fingers and-
supply manager around here might do
and that's
something
why
about
my
that.
remote
Yeah,
control
rubber
can
cables.
run up through my fingers.
Like, oh. Fine, so-
Did you put them in, Ron?
No.
No,
They're dead.
it'll be plugged in.
You can just record on your phone.
Nope,
No,
my,
that's good.
I don't have a phone with me.
Getting recording from here.
That's true.
Yeah, we do have the
Don't put 'em
recording.
back.
I do have that, but
There
I
you go.
have to have this as well. So let's hit record. We are back in.
All right, 10 and 11, water changes, transfers and audits. Take both of them together.
I'll make that motion to accept the changes.
Is there a second?
Any transfers.
Did you say?
Did you say
Yeah,
second?
that's
Oh, okay, sorry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Go around the room. Allison, what you got? Anything to bring up to the board?
Nope.
Okay,
The reservoir across from $1 Million Beach, other side of the road. It's frozen. The overflow water down by dog park was frozen the other day. And the old fisherman that fishes for salmon says the lake's gonna freeze. And, I'm inclined to believe him. That's it.
Joe, you got anything?
I do not, just wish everyone Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. That's it.
You just make it in?
I don't know, I just, it's kind of like I'm blinking at me, I don't know.
John, you got anything?
Just a shout out to John Helms, people on my little corner there, we're all old men, nobody's got a pickup truck. And so we're shoveling snow and my neighbor seems to think that that snowbank that gets pushed up in front of his driveway doesn't belong there, so he pushes it out in the street. And I don't want to do that, but John came up there with the plow with the clamshell or, the
wing.
V plow. And he took that and placed it, like, so it wasn't in front of anybody's driveway. Which seems like it can be done if you want to. And back in the day, I think that the village used to plow for senior citizens.
We still do. Well, we
Ridge.
take the build up at the end of the driveway away.
Okay,
Snow Ridge.
so.
Yeah, Snow Ridge, yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
What's his name?
There's a list.
Dan's 68, I'm 67, and the guy, Terry Thomas is in his 70s, so.
There's a list you can get on in
Okay.
the village hall
All right,
that we can,
That's
you
what
can
we're
sign
looking
up for it.
yeah, that snowbank that ends up at the end of the driveway, we take care of everything else, obviously, but that can be hell on an old man's back.
Sure.
You know?
Absolutely.
So thanks to John Hill.
All right. Keith, you got anything?
Pretty good, I think, at this point. Say, Merry Christmas and everybody.
Right.
See you here.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, everyone. Patricia, do you have anything? Are you just enjoying the fellowship?
Yeah. Appreciate you guys serving.
Of course, thank you. Josh, you guys got anything? Okay, good to see you. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. How's things at the library?
Going really well.
Good.
Love it there.
And Mrs. Burrows isn't too hard on you?
Oh, no. Fully reverted.
Yeah, well, nice to see you both.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Make that motion?
So ordered.